Should you buy the Nothing Phone 2 or save money and just get the Phone 2a? Here's our verdict. Which of these eye-catching phones will suit you best? Please enjoy watching the video as following. Despite the challenging journey of breaking into the tech market, Nothing, founded by former OnePlus executive Carl Pei in 2020, has sparked considerable interest. Despite releasing several models of earbuds, it's the phones that have got most of the attention, notably the original Phone 1 and its successor, the Phone 2, which offered modest upgrades. With the Phone 2a, Nothing ventures into new territory by presenting a more affordable alternative that still promises enhancements over the Phone 1 despite a lower price tag. The Phone 2a aims to strike a balance between affordability and performance. But how does it stack up against its higher-priced counterpart? Here's whether the Phone 2 is worth the extra cash compared to the Phone 2a. Here's how the two handsets stack up against each other. Differences between the Nothing Phone 2 and the Nothing Phone 2a. The Phone 2 has a glass back, providing a glimpse of its internals alongside LED light strips that contribute to its eye-catching design. There are also two rear camera lenses that sit on the upper left corner of the phone. Despite its sleek aluminum frame and flat sides being reminiscent of premium devices, its dimensions, 159.2 by 75.8 by 8.3 mm, and weight, 201 g, may make it unwieldy for some people. Additionally, its vibration motor and resultant haptics feedback is subpar compared to many high-end phone, while an IP54 rating makes it less resistant to water and dust. The Phone 2a features a very similar design with a semi-transparent plastic back, maintaining the aesthetic of the Phone 2 while opting for a lighter 190G build. Its curved edges make it more comfortable to hold and make one-handed use, a rarity among modern smartphones, possible. The scaled-back glyph interface of LED lights, only 3 around the cameras, are more subtle compared to the Phone 2, but they have the same potential to be distraction. The cameras here are centrally located and resemble eyes, so won't be to everyone's tastes. The plastic back feels less premium and is more prone to fingerprints, but its unibody design delivers improved durability compared to the Phone 2, at least according to Nothing. As you might imagine, we didn't intentionally drop or scratch either phone during testing. While still a long way behind flagships, the Phone 2a's IP54 water resistance, protection against splashes of water and some dust, is the same as the Phone 2. Ultimately, the choice between the Phone 2 and the Phone 2a will depend on individual preferences regarding design, comfort and durability, plus whether you want the extra LED lights on the back. The lights on both phones can be used for a variety of tasks, including displaying incoming calls and notifications, flashing along to music and checking progress of timers. Both the Nothing Phone 2 and Phone 2a feature a 2.4K, 6.7-inch AMOLED display. However, the Phone 2 offers a refresh rate of up to 120 Hz with LTPO technology, meaning it can automatically drop as low as 1 Hz to optimize battery life. The Phone 2a still provides a 120 Hz refresh rate, but there's no LTPO. The lowest it can go is 30 Hz, which is still better than many phones, though manual options are only available for 60 or 120 Hz. Despite high maximum claims, both the Phone 2 and Phone 2a struggle with outdoor visibility, especially in bright, sunny environments. While both phones offer near-identical, impressive displays, the Phone 2 comes out on top thanks to its LTPO screen. Both phones also include dual stereo speakers, which deliver punchy sound but lack in bass. They're suitable for casual use, but not movie watching or serious music listening. The Phone 2 features the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset, offering solid performance for various tasks, including gaming. It offers configurations with 8 or 12 GB of RAM and 128-256 or 512 GB of internal storage. The in-screen fingerprint scanner and face unlock offer convenient biometric unlocking options, though the former is positioned relatively low on the screen. In contrast, the Phone 2a adopts the Dimensity 7200 Pro chipset, a custom version of the 7200 that nothing has developed in collaboration with MediaTek. Alongside 8 or 16 GB of RAM and 128 or 256 GB of internal storage, everyday performance and multitasking are both strong. However, unlike the Phone 2, there are some occasional dropped frames during gaming. Connectivity features in both phones include 5G support, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3, and NFC for mobile payments, so there's nothing to choose here. You might be more familiar with Qualcomm chips such as the one used in the Phone 2, but the Phone 2a's MediaTek chipset is still very capable for everything except the most demanding tasks such as gaming. However, in our Geekbench 5 multi-core test, the Phone 2 achieved a score of 4055, while the Phone 2a scored 2,602 points. So, when it comes to pure CPU performance, the Phone 2 is the more powerful device of the two. The Nothing Phone 2 features a 50MP main camera, 50MP ultrawide and 32MP front-facing. However, it disappoints with its main sensor, lacking consistency in delivering excellent quality shots. The main rear sensor is capable of impressive shots in good lighting conditions, yet aggressive image processing often results in oversharpened photos or inaccurate colors in low light. The Phone 2 also struggles with shutter lag and a lack of irresponsiveness, although its selfie camera stands out for producing crisp and detailed shots. While video recording up to 4K at 30 frames per second is standard with decent stabilization, including optical image stabilization on the main lens. The Phone 2a shares the same camera setup as the Phone 2, so you can expect a very similar photography experience. Despite some exposure issues, particularly in bright sunlight, the Phone 2a performs consistently well in low-light environments. The long-exposure night mode effectively brightens darker images with minimal noise, and the portrait mode produces well-exposed subjects with subtle background blur. The photos taken with the Phone 2 were taken while the phone was running on Nothing OS 2.0, while the Phone 2a was running on version 2.5. The better overall quality of the photos taken with Phone 2a may be due to better photo processing resulting from the software update. However, the absence of optical zoom on both phones leads to grainy and detail-lacking images beyond 2x. The Phone 2a's selfie camera impresses with vibrant shots and an effective portrait mode, albeit with significant cropping. Video recording capabilities up to 4K at 30 frames per second offer decent footage with stabilization on the main rear lens. In summary, while both phones offer decent camera capabilities, they each have their strengths and weaknesses, with the Phone 2 falling short of expectations and the Phone 2a delivering a more consistent performance despite some shortcomings. When comparing the photos taken at the time of testing both phones, the Phone 2a is the clear winner. The Phone 2 features a 4,700 mAh battery, plus the added benefit of that energy-efficient LTPO display. As a result, you can expect to have charge to spare at the end of the day, even after 15 hours of intermittent usage. The Phone 2a boasts a larger 5,000 mAh battery, and it can also comfortably last a full day for most users. Real-world testing demonstrated impressive endurance, with 9 hours of usage draining only 80% of the battery. While both phones lack a charging brick, they support fast charging up to 45W. Using chargers at home, the Phone 2a was slightly quicker, taking 55 minutes for a full charge as opposed to 45 minutes for the Phone 2. However, the Phone 2 is the only one which supports wireless charging, up to 15W, and it can even be used for reverse wireless charging with any Qi-compatible accessories. Nonetheless, if you can do without wireless charging, the Phone 2a offers a slightly larger battery and a slightly faster charging speed. At the time of writing, the Phone 2 and Phone 2a both run Android 14 with the Nothing OS 2.5 skin over the top. It's very different to the version on Google Pixel phones, offering a range of unique software experiences designed to reduce distractions and promote intentional phone usage. The software offers a monochrome theme and icon pack, along with 22 custom widgets which feature a retro aesthetic. Bloatware is minimal, comprising only key apps such Nothing X, Recorder and Weather. Both phones focus heavily on the glyph interface, enabling extensive customization of LED lights on the back with brightness control, custom ringtones and synchronized music playback patterns. Although limited to certain apps at the time of writing, Nothing has a glyph developer kit designed to get more developers on board. However, the Phone 2a contains noticeably fewer LEDs than the Phone 2. It's functionally the same, though will be less distracting for some people. Nothing guarantees 3 years of OS updates and 4 years of security updates for both phones, ensuring support until 2027 for the Phone 2a and until 2026 for the Phone 2. There's almost nothing to choose when it comes to software, though the extra LEDs on the Phone 2 enable more customization options. Verdict: both the Phone 2 and the Phone 2a offer good value for their respective price point, but there are a few key strengths and weaknesses to be aware of. For most people, the Phone 2a is the one you should buy, offering a great all-round experience for a much lower price. As you can see, it comes out on top in many areas. However, the Phone 2 is better in terms of performance, while the differences in battery life and camera abilities are minor and may have been addressed in a software update. It also gets a brighter display with advanced LTPO technology. There is also the question of design, as not everyone may like the bold change in camera placement on the Phone 2a. As a result, the Phone 2 is still a better choice for most people, provided you can get it on sale. But if your budget can't stretch that far and you're happy with the compromises the Phone 2a, you won't be disappointed if you get this phone. Thank you for watching. See you next videos.